Be ready, 5 seconds. Democracy is more concerned with developing democratic forces within and without. It not only allows the active participation of the people in administration, it also makes them worthy of that participation. So, if it has to go on working energetically and has to make people fearless so that they can defend and preserve it, it must take care of the stability of its four pillars: the parliament, the executive, the judiciary, and the press. The moment any of the pillars develops any crack, it is sure to collapse. All the four must therefore be independent, strong, and free. Unless they are free, they cannot be strong. But the freedom of these four organs are subordinate to the freedom of society or the people whom these are to serve. Unless they guard the freedom of the people and enable them to get the necessary strength, these will not be performing their proper function. No doubt, Parliament is supreme within the Constitution, but outside it, people are supreme. In fact, people are the final authority in a democratic state. The press is one of the most important pillars because it puts a check not on one organ but on all the three organs, that is, the parliament, the executive, and to some extent on the judiciary as well. But it is vital for the people because people should be kept informed of what is happening. Public opinion will be difficult to cultivate unless people have the knowledge of the things happening around them. It can be done more effectively by the press. It reflects the public opinion and keeps it healthy as well. The people in power always try to hide their actions and decisions in words which seem to be in the public interest. It is for the press to probe deep and discover the real motive of those steps or decisions. Apart from it, it gives strength to the people, to the parliament, to the executive, or to the judiciary. It brings to the notice of all the concerned what is wrong and what is likely to harm the freedom of the people, their rights, and their welfare. Therefore, the independence of the press is vital. If this is not preserved, democracy will be thrown overboard. No doubt, we talk about a free and independent press and also understand the necessity, yet we do not know, or we pose that we have no knowledge of the ways to guarantee the independence of the press. If there is dictatorship in the country, how can the independence of the press be maintained? Again, this responsibility falls on the shoulders of the people. If people are politically aware and they have faith in democracy, they will try to give total support to the independent press. In this respect, people and press depend on one another. Press informs the people, and people fight for the freedom of the press. The press may be frustrated by the government if it is not allowed to inform the people truthfully. So, the press, in spite of all types of checks, will have to assert its independence and objectivity to preserve democracy. Some may think that the government should play an important role in making the press independent. But it is wrong, because the moment the government touches any of the pillars of democracy, it becomes deformed and may not be able to serve the public properly. Even if the press goes wrong, a truly democratic government should not interfere. Let the public opinion put them in the right place. In fact, if the press indulges in yellow journalism or starts giving made up stories, the people will refuse to accept it as a source of information, and its circulation will drop. This is the democratic way of punishing the guilty press. If the government starts making laws and starts controlling the press, it is bound to become one of the departments of the government working under the directions of the people in power. If the press does not bother about the ethics of journalism, people will have to guide the press in the right direction. Unfortunately, politics dissolves the democratic structure, and the party's interests distort the function of the press. No doubt, everyone should be allowed to have his own political views or economic views, but we should not try to turn away the views of others as long as those views do not do any harm to our freedom of opinion and expression. This objectivity is more vital for the press as it is for the judiciary. If the government is to be objective as it should be, press will automatically be in proper trim. Democracy implies the right to disagree, but if criticism is to become effective or useful, it must be objective and based on facts and not on bias.